Today I'm taking this plain and worn looking old pantry door and making it over into a beautiful barn door. I grabbed some 2x2s and some 1x4s. First, I removed the hinge pins from the door and moved the door into my workspace. I got rid of the old door hinges and doorknob as well. Then I filled in all of those gaps with sandable wood filler. For the large hole left by the doorknob, I used a little trick where I stuffed a bit of paper towel into the hole, then covered that with putty. Using the paper towel helps take up space and save on the amount of putty you'll use. Since the barn door is mounted higher than a normal hinged door, I need to add length to my interior door. Fortunately, 2x2 wood pieces happen to be the same thickness as the door. Time for me to start working on the decorative part of the door. Using the 1x4s, I measured the length of the door and made my cuts. I attached the wood to the door using liquid nails, being careful to move the wood into place from the outside so that I didn't get the liquid adhesive onto the surface of the door that would be visible. I love how the 1x4 covers up that old door handle space. Take time to make sure everything is spaced perfectly. Once everything was in place, I used a nail gun to secure it all. Caulking the places where the wood abuts the other pieces at the corners helps the door look seamless, and caulking it along the inside will help give it a great finished look when you're done. I gave that about half hour to dry. During that time, I started working on setting up my barn door track hardware. Painting was next. As you can see, I used white because that's what I had already and it was nice and neutral for my space, but the door would look amazing in another color as well. I saw a door that had this same design but it was painted blue and it was gorgeous. Once I finished my first coat of paint, I noticed that I needed to fill in these nail holes with more caulking. Standing the door up made it easier to work on the sides at this point. The putty was now dry and I used sandpaper to smooth it and also to smooth the edges of the 2x2s at the top and bottom of the door. I used my caulking gun again, this time to fill in the gap between the original door and the decorative pieces that were added. I attached the barn door hardware and hung my repurposed door. I love the way this barn door looks, and since I only had to purchase the wood and a little bit of sandable wood filler at the end, it only cost me $42 plus the hardware. If I'd had to purchase all of the materials down to the sandpaper, it would have cost around $86 plus the hardware. If you've got a plain boring door like this one, you'll be happily surprised to see what $26 worth of trim and moldings can do to transform it. I used two 12-foot long pieces of trim and moldings from Westlake Royal Building Products. I chose the 1x2 trim. I played with tape to come up with a design that I liked for my door. I measured the dimensions of the pieces that I would need and I cut them using my miter saw. They cut extremely easily and cleanly. For the upper left corner, I set the cuts at two 45-degree angles so that the corner pieces would fit together perfectly. I used construction adhesive to adhere the trim to the door and kept it in place with tape while it dried. I also made sure that the pieces were straight using a level. Since my particular door opens inward, I made sure to place my trim pieces in place with the door closed, so that way I was sure the door would open and close easily after I added the trim. When it came to the area around the doorknob, I left a little space above and below the knob, just in case I ever need to change the doorknob in the future. Once the pieces were added around the larger frame of the door, I then started adding the center horizontal pieces. These are cut using just simple straight cuts. Next, I removed the tape and then added a bit of caulking between the trim and the door so that it would have a seamless finish. And that's all it took. The door looks great, so much more modern than the plain boring slab of white that was there before. You can play with different designs and patterns to fit your design style and create a door that reflects your style and that you love.
I found this door on Facebook Marketplace and it was finally time to put it to use. The first step was to remove my existing bathroom door. This was super easy to do by unscrewing the hinges from the door frame. Using an X-Acto knife, I scored the edges of the top door frame before using a hammer and chisel to totally remove the piece along with the two decorative corners. This was way easier to do than I thought. This step was necessary as my door frame was totally unlevel. After measuring my new door, I purchased a 1x8 to act as my header. After painting it white to match the existing trim, we leveled it off and bolted it to 4 studs. We needed to add the header because our studs were not equally spaced since this is an older home. If your studs are equally spaced, you can totally skip this step and bolt the track right to the wall. Securing the track was easy as the barn door kit I ordered from Amazon came with everything I needed. We didn't need to find the studs this time since we are using the header as one giant stud. After the track was hung, we drilled 4 holes into the top of the door, attached the hanging brackets, and secured them with the included bolts. The hardest part of this step was finding a drill bit big enough. We hung the door on the track and figured out where we wanted the stoppers positioned. These just slid onto the side of the rail and screwed in with the Allen key that was included in the set. To finish it off, I added some privacy cling film since this is a bathroom after all. This was super easy to use as it bonds to glass with just water. All I had to do was measure, cut, spray with water, and smooth out the bubbles with a credit card. It's super important to make sure that your window is really clean before applying the cling film. I just peeled it off the back, and as you can see, it instantly stuck to the window. My big tip is to use the credit card that you used to smooth out the bubbles for cutting off the excess around the edge. Just butt up the credit card to the edge of the window and drag your knife down the frame. This creates a super clean cut, and you're done. This DIY instantly gave my bathroom character and added a fun antique element to the space. I'm still on the hunt for cool antique handles for the door, but for now, it's easy to grab and push open and close as it is.
If you've ever wondered what the inside of a hollow core door looks like, you're about to find out. This door was in fine shape, but when it opened, it took up all the space in the hallway, and I wanted to convert this closet to a laundry closet with a stackable washer and dryer, and having doors that open like French doors was going to be much more functional. I removed the door from the hinges and removed all of the door lock hardware. I laid it on a table to get started with my project. The next step was to go ahead and cut the door with the table saw. There was no turning back now. And then I got my first glimpse inside a hollow core door. It was hollow, with wood at the top and bottom and some cardboard in some areas. I sanded down the rough edges left from the table saw and then measured and cut my 1x2s to the height of the door. In order to add 1x2s to the end of the door, I needed something for it to attach to. So I took the wood left over from cutting down my 1x2s to the right height, and I attached these to the inside of the door using a pin nailer, since this uses just a very small nail. Once that was done, I used construction adhesive and some more nails to attach the 1x2s along the edge. Now I've got 2 door halves set up and ready. The problem is, clearly, that I also have big holes in the door due to the old lock and handle. So I had to cover those. I happened to have some leftover beadboard from a recent bathroom project, and so I decided to just turn this over and use the smooth side. You could use a panel or sheet cut down like this, or alternatively, you could use a piece of trim that you like. I cut this to 3.5 inches wide to cover the doorknob hole, and cut it thinner on the other side to cover up the seam where the 1x2 was attached to the door. I secured those in place using construction adhesive and the pin nailer. Once those were in place, I could hang the door and get a good look at everything. The next step was to paint. I added a few coats to make it look uniform, and I did caulk between the trim pieces and the door itself. Finally, I added some long handles, and my door was ready for use. It stays together and tight when closed, but if yours doesn't, you can add a door magnet at the top. I had bought some of these on Amazon, but didn't end up needing them at all on my project. Now my closet is ready for me to add the laundry center, and the doors will allow me to open the closet without the door obstructing the entire hallway. This project could also be used on a pantry door or linen closet door really nicely. I hope this inspired you to repurpose your door to fit your needs. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and see you next time.